Before we get to the song, I want to share a story with you that's going to follow this message that we've been hashtagging like crazy, Be the Yellow. If you want more information about it, I'll put it in the comments later on. MakeSomeone'sDayYellow.com is the website that all of this is from. All my books are kind of themed after. And I want to show you a picture of my first book that we're going to not really read tonight, but just talk about it, is this story that I wrote called Yellow. And this is a book about my friend and mentor teacher, Honor Trotter, and the story of our friendship and how she taught me to be just a good person, how she made me feel like a good person just by making me realize all the good that was inside of me. She was a pretty phenomenal lady. And the book tells the story of how Honor passed away at a young age from cancer. She was 3 days shy of her 60th birthday when she passed away. And then there's a challenge at the end of this book that challenges everybody in the world to find someone like Honor and be like Honor and do what we call Be the Yellow. And there's a page in here that I just want to share with you really quick. That's this page that says, because she turned people's gray skies into yellow skies. And that's what she did. Honor made everybody's days brighter. So when Christian reached out to me and said, let's brighten up Facebook, Adam, and the world and everything that's going on, I said, why not read Yellow? Let's read Yellow because that's the brightest story possible. Well, I don't want to read this one because I want to read you my new children's book. So this is a children's book, but very much a true life story. And then someone recommended that I write a true children's story with a character. So I thought, what better character to come up with than a guinea pig, because Honor loved guinea pigs. And we named this guinea pig Gigi because Gigi is the name of Honor's granddaughter that she never got to meet. Hello to everybody that's saying hi. Thank you for joining. So this is my newest children's book, Gigi's Yellow Garden, written by me with illustrations by my wonderful, talented, high school aged friend. I mean, I still can't believe these pictures that she drew, Grace Aldhouse. So Grace, if you're watching, 100 times thank you forever and ever to these amazing illustrations. You really made my story come to life. So let's get into it. Gigi's Yellow Garden by me, Adam Peterson. And I dedicated this to Honor's grandkids, Gigi and Briggs, just because they're keeping her memory alive like crazy. So here we go. On a quiet corner at the intersection of Neal Street and Trotter Drive, a garden of yellow flowers shone brightly amidst the cobblestone sidewalks. Stacked stones and bricks surrounded the garden, and behind it sat a lovely two-story home that belonged to Gigi Guinea. Gigi loved her garden. On most days, she could be found tending to the flowers, watering, and weeding. One day, Harry Hamster strolled by with his daughter Henrietta. Henrietta was crying and holding her elbow. "What's the matter, little one?" asked Gigi, concerned. "She tripped on the sidewalk and scraped her elbow," replied Harry. "Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. How about a flower?" Gigi reached into her garden and picked a long-stemmed yellow flower. She offered it to Henrietta. "Here you go, Henrietta. Flowers always brighten my day." The young hamster grasped the flower in her outstretched paw, and a smile spread across her face. "Thank you, Gigi. What do I owe you for that flower?" asked Harry. "Don't be silly, sir," Gigi giggled, tapping a little wooden sign that hung on a post to the side of her garden. Harry looked down and read the sign, "On Your Honor." "That's a lesson that my grandma Guinea taught my daddy Guinea, who then taught it to me," Gigi shared. "If someone wants to leave something for a flower, great. If not, she can just take one. I don't make anyone pay for my flowers. I just like to see other people smile." After a smile and a thank you, Harry and Henrietta went on their way. So just like I told you at the beginning of the book that this is in memory of my friend Honor, that's where we came up with this idea. And that's kind of how Honor lived her life. She just did for others because she did. She wanted to. The next morning, Gigi stepped outside to work in her garden and was surprised to see a yellow balloon tied to the little wooden sign. Attached to the string of the balloon was a note that simply read, "Thanks for the flower, signed Mr. H." Gigi's heart felt fuller than ever. She had given away flowers for as long as she could remember, but never before had she been given something so sweet in return. Little did she know what she had just started in her garden and how it would change the world around her forever. As Gigi was admiring the balloon, Mrs. Squirrel and young Sammy Squirrel scurried by. "Balloon, balloon!" shouted Sammy. His whiskers twitched with excitement as he watched the balloon sway in the breeze. "Would you like the balloon?" asked Gigi. "Well, what does it cost?" questioned Mrs. Squirrel. "No charge at all, ma'am. If the balloon makes him happy, he can have it," Gigi replied, delighted to pass it on. Someone brightened my day with it already, so if it makes him smile, it's all his. Thank you so much, Gigi. Mrs. Squirrel gave Gigi a hug. Sammy gave her a high five. And then the two squirrels went on their way. Sammy giggled and tugged on the string of the balloon as he skipped down the sidewalk ahead of his mother. This is like one of my favorite illustrations that my friend Grace did, is that image of that squirrel. And this girl, she's in high school and she's doing this awesome artwork. She's going to be something big someday when it comes to art. Another day passed and Gigi was hard at work in her garden when Sammy Squirrel scampered down a nearby tree. He handed Gigi a piece of paper before heading off to school. Gigi unfolded the paper and found a note scribbled in yellow crayon. It read, "Thank you for making my day yellow. Love, Sammy." Gigi watched young Sammy scurry off to school, and she felt a small teardrop wet her cheek. She began to feel a sense of pride as she thought of the lesson her Grandma Guinea had passed down to her. I made someone's day yellow, thought Gigi, as she looked up at the sky. Gigi knew her grandma was watching over her and would be proud of the kindness that she was spreading. The young guinea pig had never intended for her garden to become what it had. She just loved the color yellow and the way it made her feel inside. She never knew that it would make the lives of others so bright and happy. Gigi wiped the happy tears from her cheek and went back to work tending to her garden. Spring passed, summer months faded away, and fall weather made its way to town. Though the flowers had begun to wilt away for the year, Gigi's garden was still aglow with yellow. You see, Gigi's lesson of kindness had sparked something in the neighborhood that the winter cold could not stop. So if you notice here, my friend Grace came up with these ideas to make the garden, even though the flowers have gone. You see a little yellow pinwheel, a ball, a little drawing that someone made for her. They wrapped her signpost with yellow ribbon just to keep brightening the day, even though the flowers aren't there. It started with flowers, balloons, and notes, but the garden soon became a place for all things yellow. When passers-by needed a pick-me-up, they could always find the joy they needed in Gigi's yellow garden. Thanks to Gigi's lessons, they always left something yellow behind in return for the next neighbor who came along in search of a smile. The garden had become a place that was more about feelings than flowers. Gigi was happier than ever, watching her neighbors' reactions as they passed through yellow garden. Where she once looked out and saw yellow flowers, Gigi's eyes now focused on the smiles that the garden brought to the faces of all who happened to walk by. Whether a stranger or a friend, everyone found happiness in the yellow that spread far beyond the stones, bricks, and cobblestone sidewalk. One cold winter morning, Gigi was braving the temperatures to shovel the snow off the sidewalk in front of her house. As she scooped the snow in front of her garden, she saw the snow and the dirt begin to move within it. She was startled when Morris Mole popped his gray-haired head out through the dirt and the snow. "Good morning, Morris. How are you?" Gigi asked, happy to see her friend. Morris was shivering and had icicles forming on his long gray whiskers. "I'm doing well, Gigi, just a little cold. It's freezing down here in my tunnels." Morris could barely get his answer out between shivers. "You're going to catch a cold down there," said Gigi, worried about her friend. "Here, take my scarf to help you stay warm." "Really? You mean it?" asked Morris as he reached out for the warm yellow scarf. "Of course. I have more scarves in my house, and I can go right inside to get another one," replied Gigi. "Use it to stay warm down in your tunnels. I insist." "Thank you so much, Gigi," exclaimed Morris excitedly. "But I have nothing to give you in return." Gigi responded, "Oh, hush now. You don't owe me anything at all. I'm just glad that I can help." "Wait a minute," shouted Morris abruptly as he ducked inside his hole. Morris erupted from his hole in excitement. "Take this shiny rock I just found. I bumped into it when I was digging under your garden. I know it isn't much, but it's all I have to give you in return for your kindness." Gigi once again felt a warm feeling rush through her heart. "You really don't need to give me that, Morris, but this is the most beautiful rock I have ever seen. I will cherish it forever. Thank you for making my day yellow." Gigi hugged her friend goodbye, and Morris disappeared down inside his tunnel. Gigi gripped the rock tightly, picked up her shovel, and headed into her house to get warm. I think this is by far my favorite image that my friend Grace drew of Gigi, showing her gratitude for something as simple as a rock, right? But she's just that good of a person and made Morris feel really good. And my favorite thing is what she did with the rock then. I'm gonna hide this page for a second. Many of Gigi's neighbors had probably passed that rock before. Even Gigi wondered if she had tossed it to the side at one time while weeding her garden. To most, this was just a dirty gray rock, but to Gigi it meant so much more. It was proof that even though her grandma Guinea had long ago passed away, the lessons she taught her were alive and well, and it was the greatest gift any neighbor had ever given her. And this is what she took and did with it. She used her paints, and she painted that rock into something yellow with a little yellow smiley face on it. So that is my story, Gigi's Yellow Garden. I hope you enjoy that. I have to show you, there's my friend Grace that drew all the pictures. You can get this book on Amazon, but you can also get it from my website, makesomeone'sdayyellow.com, personalized and signed. So if you'd like to have a personalized copy or signed copy, you can find it there. We'll put the links down below. But I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope it brought a smile to your face and the face of your children's families, whoever, during all of this time. Let's sing a song. So back to what we talked about. My friend Kristen had asked me to read the story, but she said, then we want to sing a song, Adam, because we know you love your guitar. So I started thinking about a song that I absolutely love to sing with my own kids, with my students in my classroom. I sing this song all the time. Gotta grab my guitar pick. And, if you're an old fan of the Muppet movie or Willie Nelson or whoever, then you'll recognize this song and you can maybe sing along with us. Now, I know it's not a song about yellow. It's not a song about sunshine like in the book, but this is a song that makes me happy. And I think we could all use some rainbows right now. So this is Rainbow Connection. If you know it, you can sing along. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered? Wished on a morning star. Somebody thought of that, someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing keeps us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Have you been half asleep? Have you heard the voices? 'Cause I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Someday we'll find it, rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. So there you go. That's one of my favorite songs. Always puts a smile on my face. And that's one thing I encourage you to do, and our friends at ESGI encourage you to do in this dark, uncertain time. Look for the rainbows where there once was rain. I have to give a shout out to all my friends at ESGI for all the work they are putting in right now to make at-home learning as successful as possible. They have been working nonstop, night and day, to get everything ready so that teachers can continue teaching, assessing everything while their students are out of their classrooms. And a huge shout out to all you amazing educators out there who are working day in and day out, hours upon hours upon hours from home, getting things ready and keeping the learning alive for all of your students. We will always be grateful for everything you're doing. So I hope that my story, regardless of the mix-up in the live stream and the song, brought a smile to your face, and maybe we'll try this again next week. I don't know. We'll continue our story in the song series. We'll see, but thank you for tonight. Have a good night, everybody.